First, we log in. Then we select the required project in the project list. As you can see, on the left side is a navigation bar. We distinguish between basic data and configuration data. The basic data describes only the physical structure of the network, and the configuration data define which parts of the network are looked at closer, as well as all dynamic connections. We start by working on the basic data and will begin with the location. For this purpose, you can type in the city in the search field. There will be suggestions as well as in which country the cities are located in. The selected location will be zoomed in on the map. By clicking the right mouse button, you can add the location. The GPS data, namely longitude and latitude, is already selected, so that we only have to complete the remaining empty areas. Now you can save this data, and you can see it also below in the list. We can zoom in and change the location. The GPS data is moving along accordingly. We can also filter our data, for example, by selecting the type Hub. Here you will see the saved location, which we can also delete again as it doesn't fit to our current example. We can deselect the filter now. We can also create calendar posts, for example, if you want to show different holidays in various countries. We can also create an overview of the SKU, stock keeping unit. Here you can see that no bill of materials has been created for SKU 2, but we can do it now as we go along. We'll just define that SKU 2 consists of one piece of SKU 01 and two pieces of SKU 05. Now you can see that two units are embedded. Then there is the loading unit. Here we can define how many containers can be transported by means of transport. We have an overview of all means of transport, and delays can be added as well. We can also add transport relations by entering start and target location. The distance will be calculated automatically. We'll select a means of transport right here. For the transportation time, we can define a probability of 20% for the same day. But we cannot save our entries yet. The error message shows us that we are aiming for 100% in sum, so once we have added this entry, we can save it. The next step is to create a sourcing route. This route encompasses the defined transport relations. Now we can work on the configuration data. First, we'll create a configuration of the site. We then have to define which sites of the basic data we want to use. So for this configuration, we select a site. All fields marked with the red star are mandatory. The remaining fields are optional. The table SKU at sites defines which SKU is assigned to which site, how much minimum stock is, or which ordering is best for the respective SKU. Here we already have two entries. We can still edit, so we'll do just that with the first entry. For example, we can change the date until which it is valid. The table sourcing SKU specifies which SKU is connected to which means of sourcing. This has already been defined in the basic data. We can now change the minimum order quantity. Since we have entered all relevant data, we are now able to export it to plan simulation. For this purpose, we'll create a test and start the simulation. Plan simulation is open and the simulation commences automatically. As you can see, the duration for this simulation is 1 year. Once this has lapsed, plan simulation is closed again and you can look into the results. The simulation gives us results on route details, which also shows us the daily emission of carbon dioxide. There are more results which can be shown by clicking on them. They will be highlighted accordingly. We can also just pick one attribute, such as the distance, and we'll see on which day the longest distance has occurred. This closes our loop starting from data definition all the way to simulation results.